everybody. Welcome to Road of Plenty. I am Thomas. Once again, it's been a while. We just rented this Volkswagen California Ocean 6.1. We're gonna have it for 5 nights. We actually rented one on Iceland 3 years back, or 3 or 4 years back. I don't remember. It was, I think, a California 5, or it was an older model, and it was only the beach. And we said that if we ever rent one again, it's going to be an Ocean, or if we buy one. Actually, when we bought our car, the one we had now, we were actually considering one of these, but it wouldn't fit in our garage. So we're all packed up, ready to go. This one has only got 1,200 kilometers on the meter, so it's almost brand new. Child seat is installed, just waiting for the child and the wife, and we'll get going. Now, there's a lot of videos about the California, so even though I will go into details in this video about the various aspects of the car, it's not going to be like a review as such. I'm more going to look into a little bit about fuel consumption, etc. So to see if we had actually bought it, you know, if we would buy one, if it would be any good. Anyway, it's a good size, so you can actually have it as your only car if you have only one car. Now, problem is you can't. It's no problem with the width or the length, but I cannot get it into our garage height-wise. So let's see, 200 plus kilometers and about 3 hours. We haven't been driving so fast. We arrived at our first stop, so we have 5 nights. Not so happy about the white color. They had a lot of different cars when we got there, but we got the worst color. But the car is perfect. Little Wilfred is so happy about it. He's really happy with the interior, and he seems to be happy with the spot that we picked for first night. This is Hjälmaren kanal, which is a canal. Well, let's say Arboga to Hjälmaren, Lake Hjälmaren. Okay, so I actually this is not too far from where I grew up. I mean, it's maybe 30 or 40 kilometers from where I grew up. So yeah, pretty nice place. Me and my mother and brother, we actually canoed here once. So nice place. Let's see if there's any boat passing by, but it's a great spot for there's actually camping further on, but we saw this place. There were several of these small roads attached to the bigger road in here. So 6.8 liters per 100 kilometers so far. All right. Okay, we are on the second day of our trip. We're on the way to the west coast in Sweden, and we have set the Waze navigator to Malmön, which is not Malmö, but Malmön, which is it's an island in the Sotenäs archipelago. A few things. Average consumption, well, I cannot really say what it's been on the trip so far. I can say what it's been on since it was last filled up, which is basically, well, it was filled up 457 kilometers ago, and we have done 422 kilometers ago. So the one who rented it before us actually didn't fill it up just before our pickup, meaning that we did not get a full tank. Anyway, so consumption since last tank filling up has been 6.9 liters per 100 kilometers, and that is just as much as we have had today. Now, unfortunately, you cannot reset the computer and put it for the trip, because it put automatically when you have a night stop and then start again, and we'll start from the beginning again. There's one since from the very beginning. Let's see. This is since we started today. So this is, and then this is from 2020. Yeah, this is from when the when the car was new. This one we could probably have reset. I guess we could have in the menu somewhere. Anyway, you don't have the option of having 2 trips that you can reset individually. At first I thought we didn't have any momentous or instant consumption meter because there's no number, but actually you see the blue field here in the middle. That's the instant consumption. So now when I let go of the gas, you can see now it's coming down. The arrow here is my current average consumption. So now we're actually just a little bit below the average consumption. All the way up here in the middle, if you see here, that's the 1 liter per 100 kilometers. So, well, I'd say pretty impressive. I mean, I'm not. It's kind of a weak engine, so it's got 150 horsepower. It's the 2-wheel drive, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not really pushing it if you're going uphill, and I'm just not pushing to keep the speed limit if I don't have to. So I'll let the speed drop. So that's part of the reason why we have such a good and low fuel consumption. The other one is that I'm whenever possible, I use the small, old roads instead of the motorways. But around here, I don't know anymore where the old roads used to go. This sure is an old road, so there's no motorway here. But then sometimes when they build a motorway, of course they keep the old road, and then that's a really nice place to go. And then speed limit is lower, so you will automatically have a lower fuel consumption. Anyway, we're quite happy. We are very happy actually. I think three persons is quite ideal for this car. You can be 4, but if you're 4, it's gonna be a little bit cramped. So we now finished our second night of camping. This time we were on a camping. We're on the west coast of Sweden. It turned out to be a little bit more difficult to find. For example, in this municipality, you're not allowed to camp anywhere outside of camping. So usually in Sweden it's quite free. You can stand anywhere for 24 hours on a parking lot or whatever. But in this municipality, you're not allowed to during the summer. So you have to stay at the camp. And the campings, they are pretty fully booked. Unfortunately, I didn't film anything at our spot, but it was quite nice. And we actually tried to extend one night, but we didn't have one on that spot. And staying on... well, there was another spot offered, but there wasn't really any good view from there. So we decided to continue. Let's see if we will go. We will try to find something here in the vicinity, but we will go around a little bit first. Okay, so we're sitting at the road ferry this is a cable ferry or a wire ferry from Bohusmalmön, where we went to have a swim at Pärlane beach, which oddly enough there's no sign for it, how to get there, so you kind of need to have local knowledge. Anyway, it was full of people. Yeah, having a good time. There's no camping site here, and you're not allowed to camp here on Malmön. So we are going to Lysekil now in the hope for a spot at the Lysekils marina. Let's see. Hej, hej. Hur är läget? Wilfred? Är det bra? Jaha, so now we made the bed, the lower bed. It's pretty cozy in here actually. Wow. Okay, I am boiling some pasta water. We're gonna have dinner here at this perfect camping spot that we found. We are parked with our German registered camper van, among other German camper vans and mobile homes, and most likely they are real Germans, not like we. Anyway, it's really nice here. It's an evening sun here. We are in Dalsland County in Sweden, and my wife and our little son, they are playing by the opening. Hey, killen. Anyway, so what really comes in handy is this roof. You forget about the high ceiling in the car sometimes. You stand hunching like this, but then you realize that you can actually stand fully stretched. One thing that is not so handy, however, comes with the territory, I guess, when in the camper van, is that you're in very close proximity to, with the food and everything, to the sofa interior, basically. And it's not our van, and it was basically brand new when we picked it up, so we were a bit anxious of actually staining the interior, but I think we've done a good job in not doing it so far. Also now this is going to be our fourth night of 5 with the van, and we're coming to grips with how to get the how to easily get the marquees out, and also well, these things are easy. Well, you get to learn the car more and more, so it's pretty convenient. Now, truth be told, we have stayed in camps, but this is the third night in a row where we are staying at the camping. The first night was not any camping. As camping go, this is the best. A lot of sites they rate campings after the facilities, but not so much about the beauty. And for me, it's more, and for my wife as well, it's more about the location than the actual facilities. How good the showers and so on are. I mean, if they're nice, it's nice. But anyway, we haven't done too much dishes in the car. We usually take it to the campsite cottage where you can do the dishes. But we have used it, and it's quite convenient to have the water. You have to have the tap of water in the car, and you can, when you brush your teeth, or if you just want to fill up your water bottle or whatever, you have it here. So it's very convenient, and also for cleaning everything, it's really nice to just have the water. And of course, if you want to do the dishes, you just heat up some water, and you have warm water and everything. So it's really good. One thing we haven't done is trying the outdoor shower. We will do that maybe tomorrow. Let's see. If we are someplace where they don't have a shower and there's no lake. Okay, it's almost boiling. Might take a while before it boils, but anyway. No more alcohol. Finished yesterday. Sad story. Okay, so as we are driving here on a fairly empty road in Örebro län, I just want to give some impressions of the car from a driver's perspective. Well, What I like, well, I like that the Apple, or that the infotainment system is touchscreen, which I don't have in my car. I know it's nothing fancy with a touchscreen, but I don't have it in mine, and it makes it pretty difficult to navigate. This is much easier. You can easily search for new destinations and so on while you're moving. I also really like aesthetically the graphics of the instrument cluster. You can change the instrument cluster. You can have different views. You know, you always have the speedo, of course, but well, I always prefer the traditional one. So that one I like. I like kind of like the feel of everything. There's not much. There's actually no, except for the infotainment system. There's no touch sensitive stuff that you need to fiddle around with. So it's really nice. I also like that the fuel consumption, especially when you're out on a move like this, when you're just driving along, it's pretty good. I've now averaged 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers today. As I said, unfortunately, I cannot get the average for the trip. I can get something maybe close to average, but I can't say exactly what the average was. What do I not like with the car? Well, driving-wise, it's sluggish like a Volvo. I don't think it would do particularly well in the moose test. But and also the brakes don't really feel up to it. But the thing is, if you would have more or better brakes or better handling, corner handling, then of course things would be flying around in the car. So in that respect, I guess it's okay, you know. But we had been before, you know, as I said, we were actually considering this car when we bought our Alfa Romeo Stelvio as an alternative, as the only car. And I think absolutely you could have this as your only car. And now for us, it's a little bit too expensive to have one, but I mean, prices have really gone up. Maybe when they released the 7 model of the California, the prices of this 6.1 will go down, but on the other hand, then you will want the new one. So what else? What can I say? So driving wise, well, I don't know. I mean, it's difficult because I mean, like, I wouldn't say it's not much different from any Volvo that I've driven. So in that respect, it's okay. But you know, there's basically no. It feels very rubbery. I think maybe if you had lower profile tires, you know, it would be like bigger wheels, then it would make a bit of a difference. But you feel that it's quite top heavy and it feels a bit forward heavy. It feels as if it wants to go, you just want to go straight on. So you really need to get your speed down before, you know, roundabouts and so on, because otherwise you'll end up in trouble. But driving along like this, what I really like is this coasting function, which was also the California T5, which we rented on Iceland a few years ago. That also had this coasting function. And basically, as soon as you let go of the gas, it starts coasting. I mean, disengages the gear, and it makes the ride really smooth and so on. So when you're driving along like this, it's really nice. The DSG gearbox I'm not so happy with. Sometimes when you're coming to a climb, and it takes quite a while for the car to understand that you want to gear down, and then when it gears down, it will, you know, and then it will gives so much power, so it feels as if you're flooring it, but you know, it's I mean, then it really releases all the whatever 150 horsepower that this car has. So but it takes a slow gearing down to do it, and it's a little bit unpredictable basically. So I think that's about the driving impressions. The size of the car is no problem. It's not much bigger actually. The footprint is not much bigger than any bigger car. So I mean normal sedan or station wagon or SUV for that matter. So and the big mirrors make it very easy to know where you have the corners of the car. We're about to spend our last night in the California ocean. This time we're not on a camping site. We're on this place where you can just park, which you in general can do anywhere in Sweden. We're not too far away from home. We'll go home and unpack everything and clean up the car a little bit before returning it tomorrow early afternoon. So we're probably not going to even have breakfast here. We're just going to go home because it's just an hour's drive plus home. We're standing here by the road, but it's not too much traffic. Maybe there's a car every 10 minutes. We're at a place called Malsjön in Södermanland, landscape and county. Real nice. We were down here. My wife had a swim by there. It's really nice. It's a little bit. Well, we could probably park down there, but there was a sign to not. You could not enter without a permit. So we just took the best option, safest option. Okay, so we packed. Tjena killen! One thing that's really convenient, and it's just lucky, is that even with the, regardless if the seat is folded or not, we have this traveling stroller that fits. You cannot see it, but it fits just into a hole here on the side. In general, it's not so deep loading, but here on the side it's actually quite deep. So very good. Okay, let's get inside and we'll just go through some of the impressions we have on the car. Hey. Alright, so we're almost ready for the night. Now, as I said in the beginning of the video, we actually have had an experience with the Volkswagen California. Before that was a T5 on Iceland, but it was a beach, so it didn't have this kitchen and refrigerator and also sink with water. I mean, it makes the cabin a little bit smaller, but at the same time it's quite convenient. Some storage here. Shit. Okay. Right. Quite a lot of storage solutions, and here is like where we put everything. We don't know what to put. Mainly groceries, like that don't need to be in the refrigerator, but also some other stuff. Okay, so in general, very positive. There's something that we both, me and Alma, we think they could have had more USB connections. There's actually no way of charging. When you sit in the back seat, you don't have any charging point. Well, we do. Well, we found out that you do have a charging point if you have the 12 volts, which you can do on the camping battery. It's down here. Anyway, so I bought this cigarette charger yesterday, and so that's been working. But there should be I think it should be more USB ports, and also USB ports where you can charge all the time. Like for example, these USB ports here in the front. I don't know if you can see them. Let's see if I can turn on the light. This charging point here, they don't charge when you are stationary on the camping battery. They start charge on the starting battery. So Also a little bit of a, you do have this cigarette 12-volt charger up here, so I could charge, for example, during the night, because I sleep here on top. It's just a little bit too tight with 3 people down there. Camping here on the top is more or less like camping on a in a tent. So it's cold during the night and it's warm when the sun comes up and starts shining. It's getting pretty warm in the morning. But you do have all these, so you can ventilate. But of course, in the Nordic summer, it's quite, you know, it gets light or bright quite early. So maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, you already start getting bright. So if you have difficulty sleeping with the light on, then maybe it's not so good opening these. Anything else, Mahal, you didn't like, or you feel they could have improved with when they designed this California Ocean?
Super nöjd över Sverige.
Yeah, she loves it. I also like it, but I think sometimes now when we have the kid, it's very convenient. You don't have to put up a tent and everything, but sometimes it's actually more work to get the bed set and everything than to actually put up a tent. As you can see, a lot of things when you're taking down the bed, you have to take a lot of the things that you have in the luggage compartment or in the trunk, you have to put here inside the car, so it doesn't, I mean, not only does it get less spacious because of the bed, but it is also, you know, you need to take up a lot of space with the what you have in the luggage in the actual cabin. So a little bit cramped, but one thing that is really positive, that when we have the bed here, is our little kid, he really loves it here. He's climbing around and really having fun. As you can see on the windows, he likes to stand against the window and bang on the windows, so we have to wash the windows tomorrow. But that's a bit of a problem. The blinds here, they are a little bit sensitive, so we don't want him to actually climb on them, because then they will break. The California that we rented on Iceland, all the blinds were broken. So I guess that's, especially in a rental van, that's gonna, you know, that's gonna happen sooner or later. Yeah, one final thing that actually. The seat, the driver's seat, and presumably also the passenger seat, they are not so comfortable. They're actually, there's no lumbar support or adjustment anyway, and the seat itself is too, it's not deep enough for long-legged people. I've been on the configurator on these before, that there's some kind of comfort seat option, which I think if I ordered one, which I won't do because I don't have the money, but if I ordered one, I would probably opt for the comfort seat, because if you go long distances, it's not comfortable basically. Yeah, I don't know if you can get the passenger seat as a normal seat and the driver's seat as a comfort seat, because the one problem with the comfort seat is that one is not, you cannot swivel it around, so there's no option like this. So you really need to have this seat turn around like this when you are in the camping mode, so to speak. This seat on the California Ocean, there's no point in turning this one around, because you don't have any space anyway. But on the beach, there's a lot wider room, so then you really have use for swiveling this around to the opposite direction. Anyway, yeah, there's probably loads of things I forgot, but in general, as a rental car, it's been great. I think it's difficult to say. I mean, it's quite expensive to rent it, so. But it was a lot less expensive than it was to rent it on Iceland a few years ago. So I think they have some kind of oligopoly. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and so does our little Wilfred. Wilfred, say hello to the public.
Of course. Wilfred.
Wilfred,
you say hey?
hey. Va?